I'm going to be doing a landscape in soft pastel. I got my pastels out. These are blending sticks. It's just basically rolled paper. You can get this at your art supply store. Or you can even use paper towels. You can just kind of roll it, use the corner. And I also use paper towels to clean my fingers off occasionally because I will use my fingers to blend. All right, let's get started. I've got 120-pound watercolor paper. I've got corners marked off about where my mat would go, and I'll go outside the lines a little bit because when you put your mat down, you may move it a little left or right. But let's get started. I'm going to start with the sky area and work my way down. And I think, for this one, instead of their traditional blue sky, let's do something a little different. Let's maybe do a pink sky. And I'm just going to take, and I'm using the side of it, and I'm just lightly putting some pinks in. I'm not doing a straight line. I'm sort of doing a little jagged because we're going to have some trees or something coming up in there. And we can keep darken this as we need it. I'm just going to start light. And I'm going to start blending. I do have white pastel here if we want to add some lighter areas for, say, clouds or something coming across. All right, now we're just doing a basic pink sky. And you can see there's some texture in there, which is fine. The harder you blend, the more those will go. But that is the nature of pastels. And as I said, I'm going to use my paper towels. You can take some of your whites and come in, and white was pretty dirty, so. And you can see how you can lighten areas up. And it does blend out some of those. See those harsher marks? And hard to see. So it gives it kind of a misty pink color. All right. Now, if I want it darker, I can go back in with my pinks and even add more. So over in this corner, I'll add a little more. Maybe over in this corner. And I can come back in with my whites. So you can see it's not a total straight, just solid pink. You've got lighter areas here, little darker areas, and that's fine. That's what I want. I'm going to take just a little bit of the purple and very lightly, maybe there's some clouds in here, little streaky clouds coming across. There's some over here. And you can even take some white. I'm going to use the tip of it and across the top, maybe. All right, just a few streaks, maybe one little one here. Take that white. There we go. All right, I'm going to do some background trees or something, maybe hills, mountains, something in the background. I'm going to take some pale blue. I'm going to start with the paler blues, and maybe there's trees or something on top. And right now I'm more or less using the very corner, just kind of drawing the top of those mountains. And those mountains have some trees on it. I don't want it all the same height. Okay. I go in with a little bit of the darker blue. I'm going to hit some of those areas. Just for a change up of color. I'm not hitting everywhere. Just here and there. And I'm more hitting pulling it down more than up. I am doing a little upward streak, but it's mostly, I don't want way up into the sky. I want a little bit of mist up towards there, but I'm more pulling downward. All right, so we've got a little bit of background there. I go in with a little bit over the dark blues. Maybe here and there. Not everywhere. Just want to pull some color down. If you get a dark streak you don't like, you can take that white. Here's a little streak. You can kind of pull it in. It almost acts like an eraser type. Get some of those harsher lines out. All right, and here's a harsher line. I want these real soft back here. All right, maybe back here. Just a second line of them off to the side. All right, I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna take a slightly darker one and start over here and come across. This I'm not being quite as careful as far as going up. I don't mind some of it goes up into these other ones. In fact, I'm even going to bring some up and break that line of ones here. And just here and there. I break it just so it doesn't look like we have just a static line. I'm gonna add some color in there. All right, I'm gonna start on this side, and I'm gonna even start up a little higher. Most of this is gonna be outside our frame, but if I happen to move my frame a little bit left or right, see, and that's coming down. That's even gonna go below that one, and that one's gonna come up and come on top of that one. Almost like two mountains coming in, sort of meeting here. This is a little high. I don't want to reflect it, but I want to go a little higher here. So we've got another range of mountains. And you can know they're very pale, they're very far in the distance. Okay. I'm going to take some of the white right down here. I want to make it look like there's some mist in here. And I'm going to take some of that blue, maybe. And it's just the side, same way I did the sky, just kind of. That's going to kind of, and now this time I'm doing it almost in a swirling pattern, bringing it up into those mountains. It's kind of a mist And because we got that white underneath, it's blending very nicely. So we now have a nice mist. And you can even bring some of that mist up a little higher in a couple spots, like here. Maybe that mist is starting to climb up towards that mountain range. Same here. So just so we don't have just a straight line. That's looking good. So we've got ourselves a nice pinkish sky. We can even take, you know what, I got a real peachy sort of pale here. Clean that off. Just right up along the top. Give it a little, just to have a contrasted color. You're not gonna really tell, it's gonna blend, but it just looks a little, just give that sky a little more character. All right. You could have left it at, if you like the pink, you could have left it exactly like it was. So, cleaning my hands off pretty good with my paper towel. I'm gonna start doing some landscape in here. So, I'm gonna, maybe there's some water. The water lines you wanna keep straight. You don't want it flowing sideways. It just won't look right in your picture. So we're gonna have some water in here. Maybe back here, it's a little bit further back. Maybe that's where it starts and comes out. All right, that just gives an idea where the water starts. We'll work on that a little more. So we're gonna have some trees and stuff back here. So I'm gonna take some of my blue-green. In fact, I think I'm gonna start with a little bit of the purple. So I'm gonna draw a little line, and then kind of very lightly back and forth. We got a tree there, maybe another one here. And then down here, we got a little bit of land. This is just purple, and then I'm gonna go in to that deeper green and kind of go over it. I don't want a green tree. I want to be really faded back here, but I do want it a little more green. Down here, I'm gonna kind of blend that in. And this is where those paper rolled sticks come in handy. Pull it up. And like I said, if you don't have it, you can roll your paper towel a real tight roll like this. Just keep rolling it, and you can kind of use that just to kind of blend it. I still want it to look misty back here. You still got this mist back here. So I want to kind of blend it out. I'm going to go back. I'm going to add another one, maybe here. And it's back and forth, same thing. Just some evergreens. And then I'm going to bring that land down underneath. And I can even bring a few things up here. Go back, get some of that purple. Bring that right out. towards the water. And I'm going to kind of drag that color down. All right. Take our rolled paper. Gotta miss that tree out. And take a look, you know, if you need more of the green in it, go in and add some more color. Maybe here, here. I just want a little further down. Underneath, of course, you want it a little darker, a little more shadow. Bring that shadow up. And you can see how I'm leaving the lighter color like that. That just sort of gives you more planes to, and I think I want that one a little taller. Now let's get a pointed edge here. There. There, I like that a little better. All right, let's work on the other side. We're gonna bring some land down here. And I'm kind of going up and down here. Look like maybe it's some grasses or something sticking up. This one side, I think I'm going to do a larger tree. Kind of draw a line like that. I'm not going to use as much purple, though I am putting some in to kind of match up what I have here. I'm going to come in with my greens. And these kind of hang down a little more. All right. Gonna kind of pull them out. And with this, I'm gonna do kind of the top of the tree. I think I'm gonna go back in and darken that a little more. Mainly more towards the inside. Back and forth. Even they're gonna draw a little line. It's like the stem or the trunk of the tree. I'm gonna put another one. This one's really right on the edge of this. And this one's kind of leaning a little. There's the base color. I'm gonna bring that green up just a little higher. And I'm going to bring that green out a little further. The purple's more towards the center. It's going to darken it, give it a deeper color. Right up the center. All right. I'm just going to bring that top up a little higher. Give it a nice point. And then we're just gonna fix some of these outer limbs. And I lost the outline there. In this sense, it's gonna be more or less flowing in with that one. So. Alright, so we've got a couple of evergreens there. Oh, maybe. Let's give it a little partner here. Smaller one. And it's just back and forth, getting wider as I go down. There's not much purple in that one. All right, now that I got that, right down the base, bring that out. And you can even kind of drag some of that color. Almost as if you can see some grasses or something blowing there. All right. And I said we're going to have water. So I'm going to go back to, I'm going to go to my lighter blue, the one I did back up here. And as it comes out, and I'm going to switch back to some of my darker blues right along this shoreline. Now remember, water runs flat, so keep your fingers when you're blending it, even though the water may look a little wavy. I'm going to come straight across. And I'm going to do a little darker right in here. Here, almost as if some hills or some grass or something's growing back here. Right along that shoreline. I'm going to take some white, come across. Almost as if it's a little, still a little mist obscuring some of that land. All right, so we've got a bit of a water along the bottom. We have some of our trees. And we've got some small trees over here. So now we're gonna work our way forward. I'm gonna take some of this. And here, I'm going to take white. And I'm kind of pulling it down. It's almost as if I got a waterfall. Coming over this way, coming over that way. Then I'm going to take this, and I'm going to use just that edge right here. And then coming this way. All right, we got a little, I'll make sure my fingers are clean. Now, I've got the white underneath, so it's gonna blend pretty nicely. Down underneath, I'm gonna basically do circles. I know you can't see that, but under the bottom of it. And then I'm gonna, a few places up top. So first I'm gonna blend that out. And then over here, a couple spots where it's kind of bubbling. It's almost a dot type. And here, that water is over here. Put a little water. And I'm going to take some brown. We're going to have some rocks. Here. Back to this. And then I'm going to pull some of that color back into the land. I'm going to take that white on the edges. Kind of. And then where's my blue? And some of that white, the bubbling. So I got a little bit of blue, a little bit of white. And this I'm gonna bring more of a straight line. Now that I got the basics here, and this is kind of a straight line. And it's just, what I'm doing right now is, now that I got the basics in, I'm just giving it some more defined lines. This side, we're gonna have some rocks here. And where's my greens? That land keeps coming down. Pretty soon it comes right down to there. We'll make those rocks a little nicer in a minute, but they've got some grasses or something growing in right here. And get some darker colors here. Something growing along there. And back to my browns. And give it a little more color. Those rocks. And then that water is right along here. And it's kind of splashing up on these rocks a little bit. And then where's my white? Oh, white. And then sideways. And I'm pushing very hard, making that water splash up. And just giving it some shadows under some of those where it's splashing. All right, then let's get that land in there. I'm doing it up and down almost if there's some grasses growing here. And then I'm gonna pull that land straight back. And this time I'm gonna add a little paler greens. You're getting closer, so you're gonna see more color. And then take some of that green, pull back, some of that darker greens, and even a little of the purples up towards the top. Here comes the land down. And then that brown gets pulled back a little ways. You got some rocks growing, some land, sand. I'll put some trees or something in here. And then that water comes in there. All right. Now down here, we're going to continue with that water. It's kind of coming out this way and flowing that way. And you can put some white. You can even come in with some of the paler blues. All right. A little white in there. Highlight it a little bit. And I'm gonna put some little more splashes down here. All right, we got a little waterfall. If you need to define it a little more, you can just take some of your darker straight line and then coming down. Where I got too much, come across with that white. And here, get that curve in there. And then the same with the other way. Just lightly blend it. So we got our waterfall coming in. And we can even add a few darker streaks right back here. All right, I think here we're gonna do, let's get some of this green in here. And put a little darker back here, more of the shadow. I'm gonna take a little bit of yellow. Not much, just a little sunlight zinging across there. Okay, now we got to figure out where our water's going. Is it coming off to here? Is it going to end up here? I think we're going to take it, bring it right over to that edge. And where's my white? Get it across. Now this is coming down. Let's get our lighter greens. And see how that's like a hill coming down. And right along that edge, we got a little shoreline. We can even put a little over here. I've got some lighter greens here. A little brighter color right in here, just to add some contrast. This one's more of a gentle slope on this side. So now we need something up front. Maybe this one has, oh, maybe a tall tree right there. And this one, start small at the top. You can always go back in and widen these trees out. If you make them too wide, it's hard to fix. All right, let's start with that. This I want more distinct. I'm just kind of blurring it out, just kind of fill in that center. And I'm going to take my medium green. Start up. And this time I'm going to fill in more. And I'm coming out a little wider. As I come down, I'm bringing those branches out even wider. Underneath, I'm going to take some of my darker color, almost a shadow. The base of that tree. And then I'm just lightly touching. I don't want to lose the whole outline of the tree. So we got one there. And we can pull up some grasses. Some lighter ones, some darker ones underneath for more shadowed. You can see how I'm just kind of lifting up, down, kind of pull the bottoms out. And I'm going to even go in some lighter. And then down here even lighter because we've got that yellow. A little bit of patch of sunlight is shining through where we have some lighter shrubbery grasses. All right. Maybe right in here, a little patch, clump. So we got some down here. Up here. Maybe some more out on the edges there. You take a little more of that brown shoreline color there. All right, over here, I think we're gonna do and I get lighter and lighter as I come up. And a lot of little limbs and then I'm back down at the bottom. Thicken that trunk up a little bit. And I'm going to take some of the white and kind of go up one side, just so that it looks like it's got a little shadow. One side has got light hitting it, one doesn't. And I'm going to take my dark greens and pull up some grasses. lighter greens, just a variety of colors. And that kind of sets it right down on the ground. And then I can come up darken some of this, maybe add a few more limbs, maybe one's coming out here. All right, I like that. You can add some leaves on it or not, but I like it like it is. This one I'm going to take, I think I'm going to darken that just more in towards the center, just add some shadows. There. And over here, we're going to do some taller grasses. Along that shoreline. Just to break up, give it some interest. So it's just not flat. All right, that's looking pretty good. I do have pencils, soft pastel pencils, but you can use a regular pencil too. And come up here, maybe up here, add our little bird. Get it dark. And we have our little bird flying in. I think we're going to sign this one. And here's a good spot here. And another idea is stand back, take a look at it. Let me get my fingers a little cleaner here before I grab my mat. We'll put our mat over it. And you can move that where you want. I've got that tree a little outside there, or you can come this way. And I think I like it, oh, maybe a little higher, right about there. That looks, oh, maybe just there. I like more, a little more of the sky. And I like that. And I think we have a finished painting. I hope you enjoyed that one.